visual, attracted by beauty? And two, what are the ways that a wife can show respect to her husband? Thank you.
Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to, I call Betty my daughter and I call Jones my son. So forgive me if I don't do the titles. Because that's how I've known them. And I want to say that it's very interesting that I'm back in this church today, because this is where I started my ministry my worship when I came to The Hague, courtesy of Betty and Jones. They would pick me up because I was living in Vorburg, and after 2 sessions, after 2 Sundays or 3, I said, hey, I have now found the tram that comes here. So it's very interesting indeed that I would come back here today, because I otherwise moved and I live in Scheveningen, so I started going to the American Protestant Church of The Hague. But I'm very glad that I came here today, basically to say bye, bye-bye, because I have served my 9 years full term, full length at the International Criminal Court, where I served as a judge. I completed my term on the 9th of March, and the rest of the time I've been packing, and next week I go back home. Now, let me look at the first question. What does it mean to say that husbands are more visual, attracted by beauty? I think my son Jones, you put it very well. We all saw it on the screen. I was thinking about it, and I say, listening to you and looking at the screen, I then asked myself when I was seated down there, is this something in the DNA of a man? But I don't know. Now, I want to say that I have been married for 47 years. I got married at a young age on the 11th of September 1971. I had just... And it was interesting because I had not yet completed my education as such. I was just going through it, starting the university. But my husband had just graduated as a medical doctor. So we started on that platform where one is up and one is down. And there he was, a young dashing doctor with nurses all around him. And I think occasionally, I understand, they would ask, you have so many nurses around, why would you want to go and marry a university student? But nevertheless, I said, I am in this marriage to stay. Many stories are told about this, but maybe, speaking for myself, this, Jones, you projected it today and you called it looking. Really, I think it bothers almost every woman at the beginning. And I don't want to pretend that it didn't bother me. Because first of all, he, as I said, he was dashing, he was young. Well, he was much older than me, but he had nurses all around him. But despite all that, we would be going somewhere, and before I realized, I've seen his eyes. So I watched this for a while, and then I said, okay. At the beginning, I would get a bit upset. But then I said, I don't think being upset is going to sort this thing out. So I started discussing it with him. And at the beginning, he was very reluctant to comment, because he would be in denial. He would say, when did I look at what? Then I would say, no, but when we came out of the car, I saw your eyes this way. He said that when you were looking at me, where were you yourself looking at? So I realized even that wasn't going to help. So, like any good Christian, I prayed about it and I said, prayer alone is not going to have this thing. This thing I have to discuss it. So over the years, we talked about it, and then the interesting thing is that I said, let me try out something. Maybe it might work. So whenever we were somewhere and I saw a woman that I thought was eye-catching, I would tell him, hey, by the way, have you seen her? So sometimes he would ignore, but sometimes he would say, yeah, but since you've seen her before me, can you just ask her not to wear such mini dresses? So I would say, no, but I don't know her. He said, then how did you see her? So this went on and we kept on talking about it, and today I don't think I even remember that he ever used to do this. I don't know whether he does it anymore because it doesn't affect me and I don't talk about it. So, ladies, this is something that you need to talk about with, find your own styles, find your own way of dealing with it. But for heaven's sake, don't lose your temper over it because it's not going to go. You remember what John showed us on the screen? It's in there. It's in there, and we just have to find out how to deal with it. Now, it's something that, as you pray for your family, for your husband, I think you pray for him in all ways, because I believe you pray as a family. Some families don't pray together, some families. But this is something I must admit that at first I used to think there was something really wrong with me. But then he would tell me, wow, that dress looks nice on you. Oh, wow, I like your face, I like your hair. Then I would say, oh, it has nothing to do with me. It's just something in his, as I put it, in his DNA. And John's confirmed today, and with his witness down here, I now know that is something that if it worries you, it shouldn't really worry you as a wife. And I don't think you should completely keep quiet about it. Make jokes, make it funny, make jokes about as I used to do. But as I said, I passed that stage. After 47 years, it doesn't bother me whether he's looking at a bird or a woman because I know he's here with me to stay. So we must also be passionate, and we must also, there are some things we should and we should not do. And when I say all this, it reminds me of, the 16th president of the USA, Abraham Lincoln. I like something that he said. He said, I have always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. And imagine me, a judge, talking about that. Mercy bears fruits than, bears richer fruits than strict justice. So don't be judgmental over things like this. Find a way of dealing with it. Now, another question was, what are the ways that a wife can show respect to her husband? I think Jones went over this very well. And what comes to my mind is when a husband comes from work, I know women, we also are working, but I think it's very important when a husband comes from work that he is received. Just imagine, even at this late stage, old age, I still do that. I think it's very nice when you go out and he sees that you are there. You can see his face lighten. I still do that because I think it's important. And I think it shows respect. If I don't do that, it's because maybe my food could burn, because normally they would come in the evening. But as soon as he enters the kitchen door, I'll say, oh, I was coming to meet you, but then if I did, it was a choice between the food burning or me coming. And I think something that I also think shows respect to a husband is when you talk to him, try to get eye contact. It's very important. I find that works. Try to get eye contact. Try to catch his eyes so that he knows that you are attentive, or you're attentive and you are listening, and just generally you are there. It's very different when he starts talking about something and you have quickly slipped into another room doing something else. So you say, okay, I'm listening. What did you say? I didn't hear properly. But you're not even in the same room. So I think that shows respect, that you are listening and you are attentive. And when you're having a conversation, even if you know the whole story, please don't interrupt. Let him get on with it. He might not be telling it the same way that it should be told. But that's not the time for correction. Maybe later on, but let him finish, because then you kill his ego. Yeah. So these are little things that I have seen over the years. And then there's the 3 T's, the timing. Make sure the timing is right when you have something to say. And the text. What is your text? How are you putting it? And timing, tone. You know, tone tells a lot. Yeah, tone is very, very important. It tells a lot. It tells your mood. It tells that, okay, I might as well say it. You know, you can do that without even saying those words. So we need to watch on the tone. And what else can I say? I was asked only 2 questions. If I was asked 3, I would have. But I think we've had a long day, and I think that. And for me, I think that is what has kept me going. 47 years, and thank God we are still going strong. And it's even more complicated for professional women. It's even more complicated. And especially for me particularly, I've been a judge for the longest time you can think of. Even when I was in Kenya, I was a magistrate, I was a judge. So this is what my husband has had to live with. So I have learned to tone down.